Greetings. Welcome to Dr. Neil's Spiritual Awakening to Non-Duality. This is Dr. Connie Zweig, and I'll be interviewing my husband who lives in spiritual awakening. You may have heard about this or read about it, but you may not know someone who lives it day to day. We'll be exploring how non-duality developed in Dr. Neil as I've observed it over 25 years, and as he directly experiences it every day. Each podcast will explore a different theme. We look forward to you joining us. Greetings. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about the witness. What is the witness? It's discussed a lot in spiritual circles and many traditions. They speak about the realization of the self. I am that. The subject becomes the seer and separates from the object. Many traditions in Buddhism, Hinduism, Gurdjieff talk about the witness. And so I was wondering, does the witness change as we go through the stages of development of consciousness? Does the witness remain the same? And where does it go in the higher stages? Does it disappear? So that's what we're going to talk about today in the context of Neil's direct experience of the witness. Okay.
So let's start with ordinary consciousness. Ordinary consciousness is when one is identified with the body. I am the body, or I am my feelings, or I am the thoughts, or the roles, or the beliefs, the ideas that are called me. So when one is identified with it, there is no witness. The witness is hidden in the background, but it's not conscious. So how did this happen for me to become conscious, given all these states of the witness? Well, the witness started for me in the mind. From meditating long term, mind became still and empty. And I noticed that if there was a thought, I was aware, witnessing the thought. I was aware that the thought was not me, but it was coming and going. And I was just witnessing it. In fact, something else was creating the thought. Or the emptiness. Something else was creating the emptiness. And then it sort of moved to the movement of the body. So I noticed that the hand, those of you can see the hand, some of you can't, but I'm moving it across the screen. I was not moving the hand. The hand was moving itself. It was spontaneous. It had no volition. So I was witnessing the hand moving rather than moving the hand, which is where it was before.
You were not the doer.
I was not the doer. So there was a witness of the doer.
Just like you were not the thinker.
I was not the thinker. Same with emotions. Emotion came, stayed, and left. And I observed those. And those were not me.
Not the feeler. Well, not the creator of the feelings.
Not the creator of the feelings. They came and went. And then it sort of moved on to speech. Like right now, the mouth is moving and the voice is expressing itself. And I'm not doing it. It's happening. There's no thought behind it. There's no intention behind it. It's just I'm observing the mouth moving and the voice expressing itself in this process.
So observer is a key word here.
Correct. And not being identified with activity. The activity of the body, the emotions, the thoughts, and the beliefs. They just come and go. It's not who I am. And so the witness then sort of moved on to a sense of pure awareness, noticing that all of this is happening, and then it's not me.
And are you then identified with that awareness?
I'm identified with pure awareness.
So your identity shifted from all these aspects of your ego to pure awareness.
Yes. Well, it didn't reject the ego. I can still move the hand. I can still speak consciously and say words that are consciously formed. I can still
You
move.
could choose to be the doer.
I could choose to be the doer, but that's not my primary identity anymore. So the witness is pure awareness, which is observing the doer.
And we could call it pure subjectivity.
Pure subjectivity.
And what does it feel like? What is the internal experience of that reality?
It's blissful. It's freedom. You know, you're not identified with birth or death or life. So you're not identified with those things anymore. So there's a sense of freedom from suffering. Even if you are suffering, there's a sense of freedom from it. So, and it's blissful.
And I'm imagining that you don't get caught or triggered or experience attraction and aversion so much, whether it's a feeling or a thought or a sensation.
Yeah, I can get caught occasionally, but it's rare. It's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, some feelings might be very powerful and might take me on a wave. Some thoughts might take me on a wave, but in general, that's rare.
And when you get triggered, how is it different with the witness than before you experienced the witness?
Before I experienced the witness, I was identified with the feeling. I'm angry. You did this to me. I'm working. I'm doing something. So with a witness, it's like, I'm not doing it. It's happening. It's coming from somewhere. That was the initial experience. Now I have more identification with where it's coming from. But initially, it was coming through me.
Mm-hmm.
And the experiences of witnessing all of this, pure awareness, is blissful. Satchidananda, blissful consciousness.
So we've just covered the inner world, the witness of the inner world. How about witnessing objects?
Well, I think there's more inner world.
Okay.
So, but inner and outer makes less and less meaning with expansion of awareness. So once one is pure aware of pure awareness, or you are pure awareness, so inside and outside don't make too much difference. So I became aware of the astral plane, different people in the astral plane, people who passed on primarily. But I was witnessing it. I was aware of it. Not that I was doing anything in it, or if I was active in it, it was coming through me. It was not me doing it. And so I could talk to dead people, talk to my dead relatives. And it wasn't me speaking, it was coming through me.
So how is doing that in the astral different from witnessing the astral? My understanding is witnessing your experience is that you're separate from the object.
Yes, well, duality means you're separate from the object. There's a subject, which is you. There's an object, which is something outside of oneself. And there's a process. Seeing, believing, thinking, acting. But there's one thing they all have in common, which is activity. So I'm on the astral plane and activity is happening. I'm not doing it. Same with the mental plane. Mental plane is one way thoughts create reality. I'm not thinking, just like the mind is empty and thoughts are happening. I'm not doing it. Not me doing it, it's happening.
So there's an automaticity, a spontaneity that comes with this experience of the subject because the subject's not the doer. The witness is not the doer.
Correct. Witness is observing doing.
And I remember one of your first experiences was witnessing a tree.
Right. So, so we can go through those planes all the way up to the celestial plane, where one is appearing there but not doing anything. not identifying oneself with that plane. And the external world also becomes internal. In other words, all is experienced through the mind.
But this is later. This is non-dual.
Yeah, so
stay with the witnessing.
We should leave this one for later.
Yeah, so with witnessing the tree, you noticed.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not looking at the tree. I'm not identifying myself separate from the tree. The tree is, and I am.
Okay, that's a little bit different from witnessing. So I think, part of what we're struggling with is you're not there anymore, right? You're not in this experience anymore.
Get back to something that was a long time ago.
This is in the past.
So let's rather move on to witnessing the galaxy.
Okay.
So, so physical space has little meaning because the identity moves from pure awareness to emptiness. And emptiness is beyond time and space and can experience anything in time and space at any point in time and space. So I can go back to the Big Bang or before the Big Bang and witness the galaxy or the cosmos. So physical space and time collapse. And the capacity to actually be present anywhere and witness what is happening there. Not doing anything, but witnessing what is happening there is possible.
So you're witnessing the galaxy explode and implode.
I'm doing that right now. Sitting here, I'm also looking at the galaxy and hearing it and feeling it.
Okay. So if the nature of the witness is pure awareness or pure consciousness, and that is the nature of everything, basically, everything is consciousness, then, or whatever name you, our listener, give to that, then the witness is always already everywhere.
Yes, that's correct. So, as we go through these processes of unfolding, the witness keeps evolving because it's actually everywhere beyond time and space, as well as in time and space. So what I found was my consciousness at that point found that I could become one with the galaxy, one with the tree, one with the astral plane, one with the mental plane, one with all these planes. So there was a merging of consciousness with the objects of perception. And it's a state of pure love where there's no subject or object or process. It just is. And the witness seems to disappear in those states. So non-duality is the state we're talking about. And most people believe that the witness disappears. I've come to recognize that that's not totally true. That non-duality initially, when one enters into it, the witness seems to have gone.
Yeah, because there's no separation.
There's no subject or object or
there's no
process.
Inside-outside.
There's no inside-outside, yeah.
So you're saying that the experience of the witness disappears in the initial stages of non-duality.
Correct. But later on, it seems to come back. In other words, there's a sense of awareness. I would call it awareness that returns. Otherwise, how can one experience these non-dual states? Oneness, pure love, no subject, no object. How can one experience it? Because there's something behind it that's aware and can experience these states, knows that they're there.
So it's the background of every state.
The background of every state.
And in some states, it's conscious, and in some states, it's not.
Correct.
So the witness doesn't come and go. No, it's our awareness of it that comes and goes.
That's true. That's true. The witness is already there. Yeah. In religious terms, one would say God sees everything. God is omnipresent everywhere.
Yeah, that language is so hard for me.
It's an old language, and one doesn't need to have that version of it, but it helps to explain that the witness is in every state. There's awareness, there's consciousness, there's presence. It's every state, it's always there, because that's the nature of this cosmos. It's created from itself.
So, if you're interested in cultivating the witness as an initial stage of meditation, what would you suggest?
Sit and observe the mind. See if you can slow down the thoughts, slow down the feelings, the body sensations, and become aware of the internal world, so that doesn't project onto the outside world and make itself real, make the world real. But, there's more to go. So after non-duality, there's duality and non-duality at the same time. And there's also the capacity to move consciousness into the body, fully into the body, where the body becomes divine instrument, containing everything. And there's more, but we can do that another time.
Okay, I hope this helps to clarify the meaning of the witness and give you some clues to your own awareness. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in today. If you found our discussion insightful, there's a good chance your friends will too. And we'd love it if you could take a moment to share this episode with a friend who you believe would appreciate it. Help us spread the word and reach more people. And follow us on any platform. Turn on your episode notifications so you never miss new content. Thanks for being part of our podcasting journey.